Last night, Tim Stauffer served up his A game as the Padres shut out first place Arizona 2-0. Jesus Guzman continues his clutch hitting, another RBI last night, leading the major since the break, hitting with runners in scoring position .464. Keith Bell gave the closing kiss last night and then hugged his 38th save of the year. And welcome to beautiful Petco Park, downtown San Diego. Middle game of this three-game series, the San Diego Padres and the first place Arizona Diamondbacks. And good evening, everyone, with Mark Grant, Dick Enberg. Pleased that you've joined us. The Padres beating the D-backs last night 2-0. And it sounds like a small item, but when you talk in the clubhouse and with the coaches and manager, they did not want Arizona to clinch the pennant here on the Padres' home grounds. They're assured that that won't happen. The magic number for Arizona is still 6.
Well, this San Diego Padre team, they've got some young guys. We've seen that all year long, and they're fighting and scratching until the end. And they don't want to see the celebration here in San Diego, so they keep fighting and scratching. And after last night's victory, carry it over to tonight and see what happens.
Well, Arizona has just mauled their opponents at home. Their home record outstanding. Quite a differential between how they perform hitting on the road compared to home.
Well, the Temple of Doom over in Arizona, which is Chase Field, the Padres know what that's all about. But here's the team when you break it down. Still over 4 runs on the road. It's because they lead in so many categories offensively. They can steal bases, they can hit home runs. The batting average, big difference there, and the slugging percentage is down quite a bit as well. But this is a team that is 7th in defense. They're in the middle of the pack, but they do so many things so well that that's why they're in the place that they are right now. When you have guys like Hudson, Kennedy, Cole Mentor, guys like that, that's also a great way to win some ball games when you've got some great pitching like the Diamondbacks do.
Well, the Padres are fortunate they won't see either of their two aces, Hudson and Kennedy. Now, to personalize that statistic home and away, Justin Upton, the superstar young outfielder for Arizona at home, he's hitting .346. On the road, he's batting .245, a 100-point difference.
I think the big thing for the pitching staff for the Padres, when you mention numbers like that at the top of the order, take care of the bottom of the order and stay away from the 3-run shot or the multi-run home run. If you do that, I think this Padre pitching staff should do quite well against the Diamondbacks team.
All right, let's look at our starting pitching matchup for tonight on a beautiful baseball night. The former Central Michigan Chippewa, Josh Colementer, he's 9-9 for the D-backs. And the former University of Alabama star, Wade LeBlanc, will toe the slab for the Padres. And our pitching matchup is brought to you by Discount Tire, where America saves on tires. Wade LeBlanc picked up a win the last time he faced Arizona. Goes for another tonight. 35, he could marinate the opposition. Randy Jones barbecue. As we go to the mound, and Wade LeBlanc finishing his warm-up tosses. And here is his pitcher profile, brought to you by your San Diego County Cadillac dealer. Stop in tonight for an attractive lease or purchase offer. .296 batting average. Wade LeBlanc has always given up a lot of base hits. He's had trouble, surprisingly, this year pitching to left-handed batters. You would think lefty against lefty would be an advantage. Left-handed hitters are batting .431 against LeBlanc.
He might be falling into a pattern against left-handed hitters. We're going to see it right out of the chute here against Parra. But maybe he's consistently keeping the ball away, and the hitters read that, and they lock in on it.
Parra hitting .299. First pitch, strike. He's hit safely in 14 of the last 16 games. He's been hot. .397 in the last 16 games to raise his average up, flirting with .300. Breaking ball hits the inside corner. How about that? They're out for the Stars tonight.
You sure
the
that's
fans?
That's not a Horace Grant jersey?
Ulysses Grant, I think. Oh, my. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Spins one outside, and it's 2-2. Parra leading it off. Hit number 2 last night behind Bloomquist against the right-hander Stauffer. Aaron Hill and Justin Upton to follow in the Arizona first. Backs him away, and the count goes full.
I think Wade LeBlanc, he needs to throw strikes early so he can throw balls late. And what I mean by that is get ahead and then utilize that changeup or that breaking ball to put hitters away. A lot of pitches early. This has been a common theme the last few starts.
Line drive right field, but it's right at right fielder Jeremy Hermida. And there's one away. Let's check Kirk Gibson's lineup for the D-backs. Brought to you by the Prize Patrol, presented by Jerome's Furniture. Text winning 269-411 to enter. Hill, then Upton, leads the National League, 73 extra base hits. Miguel Montero, the left-handed hitting catcher, then Paul Goldschmidt, the rookie first baseman. Young, Roberts, and McDonald round up the lineup with the pitcher, of course, Cole Mentor batting 9th. Aaron Hill hit just .225 with Toronto, trade to Arizona, and hitting a solid .307 for the D-backs. Ball and a strike. Hill and John McDonald, the double play combination for Kirk Gibson, both acquired from Toronto. Of course, Stephen Drew's injury, a fractured leg, necessitated getting some help up the middle.
You talk about some instant relief for the Diamondbacks. You lose a big player like Stephen Drew, and then, you know, the 2-for-1 deal. Boy, the Diamondbacks really scored on that one.
Way outside, and the count goes 3-1. Hill has some power. 6 home runs with Toronto before coming to Arizona. Has hit 1 for Arizona against the Padres. That's on the corner, 3-2. LeBlanc making his 50th career major league start. He's 1-1 lifetime, 2-2 lifetime, and 1-1 this year against the D-backs. There's a high drive left field. It's hit well. Back to the wall, and that one is gone. Hill has homered. Second man to face LeBlanc, and the D-backs strike first. Second for Arizona, the 8th of the year.
Full count. Looked like a little cutter. He had a little, you see a rotation. It looks like a little cutter or a slider. Whatever it is, a 3-2 count. Too much of the plate speeds up the bat of Aaron Hill. And Wade LeBlanc, the last 5 starts, more hits than innings pitched. A lot of base runners.
Remember the game in Arizona 2 starts ago. He allowed 4 runs in the first inning, and the Padres never could catch up. In fact, lost that game 5-0. Upton fouls that one back into the second deck.
Well, the last 5 starts for Wade LeBlanc prior to this start, 26 innings pitched, 31 hits, 19 earned runs and 9 walks. So that equates to 40 base runners in 26 innings. That's working out of the stretch quite a bit.
Check swing, protective swing from Upton. You don't see many of those. He gets healthy cuts. He scored 100 runs already to lead his team, Upton. You saw he leads the National League in extra base hits. One and two as LeBlanc wastes one in the dirt. Curveball. So he had Hill 0-2 and finally to 3-2, and Hill hit that low cutter for a home run. Ground ball to Perino at third base, and he throws across in time. Cutting in front of shortstop Jason Bartlett, and there's 2 away. Here's the defense for San Diego tonight with Andy Perino getting the start at third. James Darnell dislocating his shoulder. It popped right back in place last night, but his season is over. And Bartlett, Hudson, and Rizzo at first base. Guzman in left, Maben in center, and Hermida in right field. An interesting outfield alignment for Bud Black as Guzman moves from first to left, and Hermida gets a rare start.
I hope Guzman's got a good glove contract, because he's going to be one of those players I think that's going to have a middle infielder's glove, a third baseman's glove, an outfielder's glove, a first baseman's glove.
Might as well give him a catcher's mitt too, huh?
Hey, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he strapped on the gear and did an okay job behind the plate.
In the dirt, 1-1. Since the D-backs traded for the 2 men we mentioned, the shortstop and second baseman Aaron Hill and John McDonald, they've gone 18-5. Montero hitting a solid 279 with power. 16 home runs. That lineup for the D-backs, leadoff hitter Parra has 12, 21-30 for Upton, 16 Montero, 20 for Chris Young, 18 for Ryan Roberts. That's a drive into right center. Maben on his horse, reaches up, can't get it. Montero on his way to second with a stand-up double. He rings one into the gap in right center. The way Maben took off after that, you had the feeling he thought he was going to catch it.
I did not see it right off the bat, but I think Cameron may have went to his left immediately when this ball was struck. But this ball is hit on the sweet spot, and it is hit well. See how he went to his left and then straight back, just out of his reach?
He plays fairly shallow, and of course with heavy air that ball wouldn't have carried as well. But tonight we don't have the marine layer. Clear skies here at 5:45 in the evening. And both the balls hit by Hill and Montero with good carry. Nice Saturday night crowd to enjoy the action. Here's Paul Goldschmidt, rookie first baseman. We've seen he's got power. 1-1. Fouled into the glove of Hundley. San Francisco is at Colorado. They're just underway up in Denver. Giants start tonight 6 games back of Arizona. Again, the magic number for Arizona is 6. 6 wins or combination of 6 losses. That one clipped high and foul.
Speaking of that series, Giants Rockies, did you see where the Panda needed a triple for the cycle, and his last at bat, wouldn't you know it, he hits a triple deep to right center field off the wall, busting his tail to complete the cycle. It was 2 nights ago, I think.
Swing and a miss. A changeup gets Goldschmidt. First strikeout for LeBlanc. But the D-backs are on the board. A home run and a double, and the man left. Maben, Bartlett, and Guzman coming up. Homer, Michigan warming up, and his profile brought to you by Bank of America, setting opportunity in motion in San Diego to help our community and our economy. 9-9 is Cole Mentor. He's had the ups and downs of a rookie year. He was part of a shutout of the Padres a couple of starts ago, and then the last start against San Diego, they cuffed him around a bit, and San Diego was able to go on and win 7-6.
Well, the one thing that jumps out for me is the fewer hits than innings pitched for the rookie right-hander, and he does well on the walk side as well. Only 27 free passes.
Cameron Maben takes it over but low. Cole Mentor, the unusual delivery because he's so much over the top, straight off the bill of his cap. That's a strike, 1-1. He's not overpowering with a fastball, but he can be baffling when he has his control. Maben checking in at 268. 2-1 now the count. Maben, Bartlett, and Guzman in the Padre first. Arizona on the board, the home run by Aaron Hill. Homer, Michigan, geographically is down near Jackson, Michigan, down the southwest of the state, on your way to Chicago. His high school team was amazing. 3-1, a line drive right at Hill. A magnetic shot right to the glove of Hill for the first out. Here's the Padres lineup presented by Ashford University's Homers for Heroes. If any Padre in tomorrow's lineup hits a home run, Ashford donates $2,500 to Operation Homefront. Maben, Bartlett, Guzman. Nick Hundley continues his great hitting since coming off the DL. Anthony Rizzo starts at first, the rookie tonight. Then it's Hudson, Hermida, and Perino before LeBlanc, who is the Padres' best hitting pitcher. His high school team, Cole Mentor, the Trojans, if you will, won the state championship 38-0. The only undefeated champion in Michigan high school baseball history. He was the winning pitcher in the final game.
That's tough to do. You know, we've heard of undefeated football teams. You know, sometimes when you get a really good basketball team, undefeated season, but baseball, man.
38 exposures. You win them all. Bartlett punches it to the right side, but there's Hill. And the second baseman takes care of the first two Padres. The D-backs defense reads this way tonight with Ara, Young, and Upton left to right in the outfield. Roberts and Goldschmidt at the corners. McDonald and Hill, the ex-Blue Jays, up the middle. Montero, the catcher. Guzman, just been such a delightful hitting surprise. Hitting .322 to lead the club. And though he's only been with the team, you know, not a little more than half the season, he leads them now in RBIs with 44.
Hey,
I think you can safely say that he's one of the regulars that's going to be back with the Padres in 2012.
He's definitely going to get a lot of at-bats in spring training. I mean, that's just, you know, the logical way of looking at things, and the way he is swinging the bat now.
Another curveball grounded to short. Up with it is McDonald, across to Goldschmidt, and it's a quick inning for Josh Cole Mentor. He retires the Padres in order, and we go to the second. 1-0 D-backs. They're saying I'm in. I hope you are renewing your season tickets today for the 2012 season and win one of the 15 great prizes. Today's 15 prizes and 15 games winner is Anna Maria Molina. She has won a trip for two to the 2012 Major League Baseball All-Star Game in Kansas City. How about that?
Nice.
Not too late to place your 2012 deposit and enter to win. Call the Padres at 619-795-5555. Chris Young, Ryan Roberts, and John McDonald for Arizona here in the second. Young hitting .230, but a member of the 2020 club, 20 homers and 20 stolen bases this year. Just outside. So they've given away a chance to be the ceremonial first pitch at a Padre game. Go to spring training was a gift.
Some good stuff.
Sit in the owner's box, eat all that good food, and have the best seat in the house.
You know what's great about that is that's something that you can't try to get each and every day. That's once in a lifetime type deal.
Young takes ball 4, so he walks more than any D-back, and he has a leadoff walk. Not necessarily a good thing if you're a Padre pitcher. That's his 71st walk this year. Ryan Roberts, as we mentioned last night, here's the man that hits down in the batting order. But look at the numbers. 18 home runs, 55 runs batted in. He'd be far and away the leader for the Padres. And he can't hit in the middle of the lineup.
Yeah. It's a nice balance, though, that this Diamondbacks team has, isn't it? When you see numbers like that at the bottom of the lineup. And then on deck in the 8th spot is John McDonald.
Roberts matches his 18 home runs with 18 stolen bases and 18 tattoos above the waist. That's probably shortchanging him. Infield looking for 2. Young, a good base stealer. And LeBlanc has an excellent move.
Last 3 games for Ryan Roberts have been kind of tough, hitting in the 200 clip. So hopefully this is where Wade LeBlanc needs to keep these guys off base, maybe get a grounder here.
Outside, 1-1. Well, the series wraps up tomorrow, 1 o'clock Sunday game, Military Day. Aaron Harang will shoot for his 14th win of the year against the lefty Joe Saunders. He's 11-12. Toy airplanes to the kids on Air Force Appreciation Day.
Yeah, that plane that I saw, that looked like an F-17, I think. I'm not much of an aeronautical genius by any stretch, but I'm going to go with F-17.
It's not a big one now.
No,
I mean, they're
not
going to get a whole big airplane.
No.
It's just that little teeny one. But it's a nice, keeper. It's a keeper.
Yeah.
1-1, the runner goes, and a high drive to deep left field. If that's fair, it's a home run. It is foul. Oh, did he hit that one a long way? Yeah, this lineup shrinks the ballpark. It's not just at home at Chase Field. They've got some guys that can go deep.
Well, Wade's going to have to start making an adjustment, getting that ball down and hitting the corners. He's the type of pitcher who has to thread the needle and locate his fastball and off-speed stuff. We already saw an off-speed pitch hit for a home run.
Shot to short, backhanded by Bartlett to Hudson, back to first. Not in time. Well, as hard as that was hit, you thought that it'd be a double play. But hustling up the line was Roberts. He, like so many of the guys in the lineup, with power, but also run very well.
I don't know whether Jason Bartlett maybe had a little bit of a hiccup on that hard smash, but he had to go to his right. And let's take a look at the short hop. Does he okay to his knees and then a little flip? Kind of tough to tell, but maybe bringing him to his knees a little bit there.
So he elected to flip the ball rather than throw it, and so he lost a little velocity there, and that might have been the difference. So 1 out, Roberts at first, John McDonald the hitter. 1-0. Back to the home run power of this lineup for Kirk Gibson on the year with a home run today. 165 home runs. The Padres are last in the league, 83. Boy, that's they get a lot of quick runs. 2-0. McDonald, the shortstop, with pitcher Colementor to hit next. Nice turnout on this Saturday night, considering the competition with all the football.
Sure.
These San Diego fans have just been outstanding all year. They've been patient. They're hopeful. They continue to support the team. They come out and have a good time. And it's not a bad place to do that, and the prices are right.
That's right. You get a long sleeve T-shirt tonight as well.
I didn't get mine yet.
I didn't get mine either. I don't think they make it big enough for me.
Well, you could take those sleeves off and cut them off and then add that to the girth.
That's a good-looking T-shirt.
It is.
I like it.
2 balls and a strike to McDonald. Three and one. So LeBlanc walked Young to lead off the inning, and that immediately creates some problems. He's been erased on the shot by Roberts, who's safe on the fielder's choice. And now 3 and 1. A hitter's pitch for McDonald. Aaron Hill, his former teammate in Toronto, worked the count to 3-2 and clubbed the home run. Runner goes. That's strike, and the throw to second is in time. A late call, strike at the plate. We had to wait for umpire Fielding Culbreth, because if that's ball 4, the throw to second base is immaterial. But a good throw by Hundley as they get Roberts 2-4.
He shortened up his lead. He went on the first move. There was a pitch that was down just in time.
Boy, what a throw right there.
Yep. Orlando Hudson with the tag on the left hand. He gone.
So the count 3-2 on McDonald. And that was a heady play by Hundley in a couple with not only the good physical throw, but the fact that that strike call was very tardy. So he might have thought, well, maybe he called that ball 4, but he didn't. He went ahead and made his good throw.
And that's the right thing to do. Just carry on with the play. Let the umpires take care of the rest of the calls on that pitch.
Another foul ball. They'd like to get McDonald and force the D-backs to bring up the pitcher to lead off the next inning, even though Arizona has the best pitching staff in the National League.
This is where Wade LeBlanc needs to get McDonald. He's hitless his last 12 plate appearances. Get him out here, and as you mentioned, Dick, have the pitcher lead off next inning.
Fly ball left field. Coming in is Guzman, and he's got it. We go to the bottom of the second, middle of the order. Hundley, Rizzo, and Hudson for San Diego. Concert from San Diego's own Switchfoot. The concert is free for all of you with a paid ticket. Get yours tonight at Padres.com/Switchfoot. You know what they should, when we have these concerts, it would help me. Now, I know, you know all the music. You're always humming all the modern tunes.
Not the modern stuff, but go ahead.
Well, anyway, it'd be nice to know the hits of, what are their favorite songs or favorite numbers. Nick Hundley fouls back the first pitch. He's hitting .293. He's been on a tear since coming back to full health, batting .406 since leaving the DL. 9 doubles, 4 triples, 5 home runs. That's since the break. .406 is the best batting average in the major leagues.
Yep. There are times when hitters hit the ball and it's okay, it's a hit. But Nick seems to be the type of hitter to where he's hitting through the baseball really well, and that pop is really showing. Pulling the baseball with authority and also going the opposite way to that right center field gap with some serious authority.
Lines that one down the left field line. Just fouled by about 3 feet. Change up and he
out in front.
Yeah. But again, hits it smartly. Let's see how close it was.
Oh, maybe an inch or two, huh?
Almost hit the chalk line. Might have to ask for a chase review on that. Do a challenge.
Throw the red flag?
No, in tennis, they got that chase review. The player could say, I want to challenge that call.
Do they just voice it to the umpire?
Yeah, and then they review it, and it actually, graphically shows where the ball hit.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. I bet baseball someday might have something like that. Umpires wouldn't like it. Off the fist and right to the shortstop, McDonald. I saw a popper for 4 consecutive outs. Josh Colmenter. Anthony Rizzo. Been one of the stories of this season. Acquired in the Adrian Gonzalez deal. Goes to Tucson after a tremendous spring training. Tears the cover off the ball down in the Pacific Coast League. Comes up for a month. Has his struggles, goes back, continues to hit well in the PCL, and now he's back for the final month. And he and his bat, very important part of the Padre future. He's just 22. He's learned a lot in this full season. Changeup has him out in front. Took extra batting practice yesterday. He's got a great attitude. He wants to be a good one, and Padres feel he will be. 1-2. I was talking with Randy Reddy, the hitting coach for the Padres, and people just don't realize the difference. He said 20 years ago, the gap between the major leagues and the Pacific Coast League wasn't that great. It was the obvious graduation. Said now it's really a big gap. He said if somebody down the PCL is throwing like they do up here 95 miles an hour, something's wrong. He should be in the major leagues.
Right.
So you're seeing fastballs that are 4 or 5 miles an hour slower. So a guy like Rizzo, can tie into more. But now he's seeing more heat.
Hey, you're seeing the best of the best in that organization, 1 through 5, right? AAA is a different story. You've got youngsters coming up. You've got veterans maybe on their way back down, trying to make it back up, that maybe have lost a little bit in their repertoire. So, AAA is kind of funky. It can get really dicey. Now, AA,
you'll see more graduating from AA.
Absolutely.
Because those are the young arms, and they're just trying to get experience. And they have the velocity and the stuff. That one ripped foul.
AAA is a level to where you get, I'm not saying every organization, but there are times when you get the bitter veteran guys who are trying to make it back, and they think they're just getting, the raw end of the deal. And then you get the hungry young kids, their first year in AAA after being a year in AA. So it's a mix.
Ball grounded softly up the middle, and the play made by Hill. 2 away. Orlando Hudson, the batter. Well, speaking of the minor leagues, congratulations to San Antonio. Counting the playoffs, they won their 100th game last night and swept the 3-game series, best 3 of 5 over the Arkansas Travelers, and they are the Texas League champions.
They'll be getting a ring next year. Good for them. Nice championship ring.
They'll be flashing those rings at spring training, some of those kids. Hudson checks in at 236. Some of the fans enjoying the park in the park. High fly ball, shallow right center, a long run for Upton, and he can't get there. Hudson with a bloop single to right. First Padre hit. Here in the twilight, tough to read that kind of swing and contact. And Upton got a late break, and Hudson has himself a single.
Yeah, Upton may have read the swing, the big swing. Off the end of the bat, deadens the baseball. And the chance for a 2-out rally.
Jeremy Hermida. Five for 37 since being claimed by the Padres. Takes ball 1. Well, last night after the Padres scored their 2 runs on 3 hits in the first inning, the rest of the way, next 7 innings, they had only 2 infield hits, but still managed to go on to a 2-0 win. And now their 3rd hit since that first inning is a bloop single. Looking for somebody to hit it squarely and give it a long ride. Last night's hurler, Wade Miley. The 2 runs in the first inning cost him. He was tough thereafter. Change up. 2-0. Foul back. You know, Coleman made an auspicious debut with the D-backs. His first 6 starts now. He allowed 4 runs and 20 hits. 4 earned runs in the first 6 starts and pitching that many innings. That was the best since 1912. That's hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
2-1. Keeping an eye on Hudson, who had a steal last night, his 18th.
Remember Cole Mentor, the first time we saw him in the pickoffs at first base, he's a hopper. He's not a stepper. He kind of hops and rotates on his feet rather than steps off the mound in front of the mound and steps towards first base. And that's something that Dave Roberts, Rick Renteria, and the base runners.
Oh, hit it. So the Padres with 2 outs get a looping single by Hudson. Hermida hit by a pitch. 2 on with 2 out.
Just leaked inside a little bit. Looked like Montero was set up inside.
Plug the A in Hermida. Here's a chance for young Andy Perino to get the Padres on the board. 27 at bats, 5 hits for Perino. Takes a good cut.
He had a good fastball to rip at as well. That pitch looked like it was a fastball right down the middle of the plate. 87 miles an hour on the velocity.
Former star with the Dolphins of Lemoyne College in New York. Perino. Runners lead, first and second. Saw a fly ball left center field. That's trouble. It's falling for a base hit. Running all the way is Hudson. He'll score. And the Padres have tied it 1-1. Those are San Antonio hits. Texas Leaguers.
That's right.
2 of them.
And you know what? Andy Perino will gladly take that hit. First pitch fastball, he missed. It was right down the middle. Colementor tries to change location and ties him up. And right in the Bermuda Triangle. Young, McDonald, Parra. No chance. And the Padres are on the board.
Here's LeBlanc, who's hitting .353, 6 for 17. And he swings and pops it high in the air. Shallow in center. Chris Young has a beat on it. And the inning is over. But the Padres get a run on a couple of soft singles and a walk. And after 2, we're tied at 1. Padres as they look to beat the Dodgers next Saturday at 5:35. The first 25,000 of you will receive a Padres Beat LA rally towel presented by BWM Global. Get your tickets tonight at Padres.com. That's for next Saturday night against the Dodgers. Beat LA. Top of the third. Colementor the pitcher, and then Parra and Hill for Arizona. A 1-1 tie. Yeah, we're pleased to have a visit from Jane Mitchell, who is a longtime star at Channel 4 in San Diego and has written a terrific book and has hit the century mark. You know, you're like a cricketer. You've clubbed a century here. You're going to have your 100th one-on-one show, and that's going to be next Friday night.
Next Friday night after postgame.
And obviously, if it's your 100th, you're doing something really special.
Well, thank you. Yes, we are doing a special 1 hour, and we are doing all the memories and great moments, but we're also interviewing a lot of people, both of you included, who have been guests or observers of one-on-one, and I've interviewed more than 12 or almost 15 Chargers and Padres, and they're reflecting.
Ground ball by the pitcher Colementor right at Hudson for the first out.
They're reflecting on their time being interviewed one-on-one, what it was like to have us come into their house and tell their story, and then the reaction from fans and the community and what that meant to them, and their overall view of what just the concept of this Channel 4 and our one-on-one has been for 15 years. It's hard to believe. Great. Show number 1, 1997 with Ken Caminetti, and 100 now here in 2011.
Jane, who was your biggest surprise? And what I mean by that is, who was the person where you thought, okay, this is going to be like pulling teeth, and then all of a sudden you're sitting in front of them and it's like, man, they just open up. Is there one person that sticks out?
Probably show number 1 really was Ken Caminetti, because we actually didn't even know we were going to do a show. We just thought we were going to do pre-game stories. And I was told, he's a quiet guy. But as we sat there with none of the pressure of the timing that you would have in the locker room, the clubhouse, he just opened up, and I think that was my biggest surprise. Over the years, certainly there have been others, but that was probably the biggest.
Parra sweeps a soft ground ball to Rizzo, who takes care of business, and there's 2 away. A couple of ground outs. Well, one of my most thrilling chances to interview a player and star was Ted Williams, and I know you had a special show on Ted. He was pretty good, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. I'll tell you, I'd never worked so hard and prepared so hard for that one than for Ted Williams, because I knew that he was not going to suffer any fools, and I was not going to be the reporter who was not prepared. So I studied for 6 weeks, read his book, and then when we sat down and talked with him, it was a whole different thing.
And the one question that he got you was...
The one question they got was, what was my dad's fishing pole, the brand of my father's fishing pole? I thought I was there. I was bonding.
High fly ball by Hill, who homered his first time up, but this one will stay in the yard and then into Maben's glove. A 1-2-3 inning. Can you hang on for another half inning?
Sure.
All right.
Middle
of the third. It's 1-1 here at Petco. The D-backs and the Padres. Southern California's premier dental implant center. And by Cox Advanced TV. Get more of what you're into with Cox Advanced TV. With Mark Grant, this is Dick Enberg, and our special guest, Jane Mitchell, as Padres bat in the third inning. It'll be Cameron Maben leading off. There's a real art form, folks, to being a good interviewer. There are a lot of bad ones out there that just don't know quite how to ask the right question and how to follow up the question, don't listen to the answer. And that, there's Maben trying to bunt his way on and can't successfully arrive at first base, one away. That it's a matter of listening to the person you're interviewing, because often don't they give you the next question?
Yeah, absolutely. When you're listening, I usually want to say, well, suddenly I'm inspired or triggered or just curious by something they say, and sometimes the question really is just why, or how did that come about? It's not really necessarily a big in-depth question, but when you listen, as you say, Dick, it makes you go to the next level, because sometimes they're holding back, but you know there's got to be a little something else there. But that's how we are naturally, I think.
Well, I took my eye off Maben to watch you, and Maben tries this bunt, and he's going to be safe. First a foul ball on the last attempt, and Maben has another one of those infield hits. He's approaching 40 for the season. The Padres with a couple of bloop singles and now a bunt hit.
I think this is a great approach, and look at him get the kick start with that front leg. It's always nice to see Cameron Maben with that leg kick, and if at first you don't succeed, Jane, what do? Try again.
Exactly. Not exactly a great bunt in the air, but it fell in front of third baseman Roberts, and that made it a very tough chance.
Hey, the defense might have thought, you know what, he tried it once, it was a foul ball, he's probably going to swing away. So nice job by Cameron Maben.
Brings up Jason Bucklet. Maben, of course, with 36 steals, among the National League best. Was there a guest on your show where you just
maybe it was Williams, you were more nervous than the other. You just really said, oh, I just hope I'm going to be okay.
Ted Williams was, until the first question, and then the butterflies went away because I knew I was prepared. David Wells, because I knew he was a pretty tough guy, and he didn't talk to me when he was with the Yankees in 1998, so I wasn't sure how that would go. And Larry Lucchino, because he was a litigator and an attorney, and, you know, I had my work cut out for me.
Which one provided you with the best sense of humor where you could have some real good laughs?
Jim Leyritz was very funny. Ryan Klesko was great. David Eckstein, I thought, was he was so full of energy and really had so much to say, and we were laughing throughout, and he knew what I wanted the answer to the next question. And, you know, he goes, you want to hear that, don't you? And I'm like, oh, yeah. So, you know, they all are different. They're kind of like brothers. There's not really a favorite, but I have favorite memories from different people. Certainly Tony and Trevor are at the top of the list.
That's setting sun right into the face of Maben as he's trying to read the pitcher Cole Mentor. The count 1-0 on Bartlett.
Well, Jane, you learned so much from all your interviews. What have you learned in 15 years?
You know, I've learned not just about the game, but I think what it takes for these guys to excel at this level. I think a lot of people just look out there and they say, well, that's what they're paid to do. Well, you know, they might be, but to look at the competition and what it takes to get there, and as they always say, not just get there, but stay there, it's really true.
Maben takes off. The throw by Montero, and it's in time. They get him. Montero's one of the best in the league throwing out runners. He's got a rocket arm, and he put that right on the bag. You don't throw out Maben often, but Montero gets the job done.
He is so quick, not only with the bottom half of his body, Montero, but also with the release. Look at it, straight up to the ear. I tell you, you could have hung the laundry on that one. He is a guy, you know, the major league average, as you take a look, ooh, he did a nice job of trying to get away from that tag, Cameron Maben. But the major league average, about 32%. Montero's at 40% throwing out base runners.
Bartlett with the count now 1-2. Bases empty, one away. So next Friday night after the game, the Padres and Dodgers.
That's right.
Bartlett to Upton, eases back, 2 away. And of course it'll be replayed several times, which gives us all a chance to, we don't TiVo, we can
yeah, and that's been fun to know over the years, our 15 years doing this, that people, in fact, someone just today came up to me and said, every time I watch one, I learn something a little different, because sometimes you're watching TV and the phone rings or someone's in the kitchen, but just to watch it, because we really have tried to be very in-depth and very detail-oriented. So that's a really nice thing that people keep learning every time they see it.
Guzman fouls this one away.
Who's the one person that you haven't interviewed that you would really like to get a chance to sit down and talk to?
Oh, wow.
Bill Center?
Well, he's waiting. He's ready.
No, seriously.
I've had a few who've, wow, that's a good question, Mark. Gosh, I should have thought about that.
That's all right.
Well, the field's wide open.
The field is wide open. Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes just watching some of these young guys and seeing where they are now and where they're going to be down the road, but also what they've learned.
You know, Jane,
some of the veterans.
You mentioned something about what you learned, and it still amazes me when you see players at any level that play 15 plus years, and you can write it down. They hit 300, they hit 40 home runs, and they drive in whatever. It just amazes me that they do that year in and year out.
And, you know, just in my 15 years being new to sports, when I started in 97, it didn't seem to be the norm that guys played into their 40s. And, I mean, I'm not a statistician, but just in 15 years, you see more people playing later.
I think they take care of themselves.
And exactly,
better.
that's it. Having gone to spring training now every year for 15 years, you can see the difference. Guys really come in prepared for that. And that's why I love what we've been able to do, seeing what their off-season, their winter workout is, because that is very telling how they come into the season. So it's not just about, you know, their favorite hobbies or where they grew up. But it's also the work ethic, the integrity, the character, all of those things is what I've learned from them. And they've taught us, and I hope the little kids out there who are realizing how hard it is to get to this level.
Full count now on Guzman. And he waves and misses. Well, Jane Mitchell, you're a star in our community. 27 local Emmys. I mean, you've just delighted us all with your great talent.
Well, I appreciate it, Dick and Mark.
Jane,
and we've worked
congratulations.
together the whole time, 15 years, so it's been awesome.
Absolutely.
All right.
And thanks to everyone who's been watching and supporting one-on-one. It's been really a blessing.
Next Friday night, we'll be tuned in.
Thank you.
Tonight's trivia question brought to you by AT&T Wireless, and tonight's question is, on this date in 1984, Reggie Jackson hit his 500th home run. It came off a pitcher who's in uniform tonight. Who was that man? We'll have the answer bottom half of the inning.
I think I know that one, so I won't contribute.
All right, Upton and Montero, then Goldschmidt. Heart of the order for Arizona in the fourth inning. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. A nice curve. Upton grounded weakly to third his first time. He and his brother B.J. playing for Tampa Bay. First ever brothers in a season. Same season. Hit 20 home runs and steal 20 bases. I think that there were heavy rumors that he might be traded. Remember last winter?
Absolutely.
We're talking about a trade with Boston for Jacoby Ellsbury. I think both sides are pleased that sometimes the best trades are the ones that don't consummate. 2-1. High fly ball. He just missed that one. Shallow right center. Maben.
Well, working down and hitting the corners and throwing that changeup. That's what Wade LeBlanc's game is all about. And Upton's got some pop. So what does he do here? That looks like a little cutter down and in. Cannot square it up. And chances are, you throw a pitch down there, yeah, you're probably going to win the battle. There are times you're going to get burnt, but that's a good pitch from Wade.
Miguel Montero doubled to right center field his first time. Made the All-Star team this year. Why not? 16 homers, 81 runs batted in. He's only got 5 less than Upton's 86. You figure that Upton's going to clean the plate more often than not, and then bases are empty for Montero, and he still has 81 ribbies. A ball and a strike. Something that went unnoticed last night in the 2-0 Padre win. Another shot to right center field, trying to cut it off. Both outfielders, but that's going to roll to the 400 sign, and Montero is hit his second double, same spot. Armida could not get to it to cut it off. That was another solid shot by Montero.
Good swing. Seeing the ball well. Great extension. And did you see on contact where it was? Up above the belt buckle.
But outside corner.
Yep. And great extension from Montero, covering that outside corner. And pulling that baseball with some authority.
So each team with 3 hits. The D-backs have a home run and 2 ringing doubles by Montero. Padres have 3 hits, 2 bloop singles, and a bunt single. Yeah, a fan must have muffed that chance.
Yep.
Goldschmidt struck out his first time. 1-1. So what did go unnoticed in the summary of last night's game, Padre pitching did not walk a man. Now that seems like no big deal, but only the 8th time all year in an Arizona game that they didn't have a walk. Only 8 times. They have a walk from LeBlanc tonight. The leadoff walk to Young in the second. 2-1 to the former Texas State University star. Changeup, that's what struck him out the first time. Got him. Fastball. Second strikeout. Goldschmidt on both occasions.
Boy, LeBlanc being a little sneaky fast. Up the ladder. That's only at 88 miles an hour. He'll cut the fastball a little bit, and then that four-seamer, it'll have a little bit of extra giddy up on it. And when you've got a guy like Goldschmidt who can put a charge into one, up the ladder, it's the best place to go. Up and out of the strike zone for the swing and miss.
Here's Young. He walked to lead off the second. D-backs are the only National League team that have 2 men in the 2020 club this year, both Upton and Chris Young. 20 home runs, 20 steals. And Upton with 30 homers. Two and 0. He hasn't thrown a strike to Young yet. 6 straight balls. Brief message from Hundley and then relayed to Bartlett.
That looks like a conversation regarding the signs. So Jason Bartlett can get them straight so he can relay them to Orlando Hudson at second base.
Simple as third sign
or first sign after 2, whatever. It's a fastball or breaking ball. Closed mouth, open mouth, relaying the sign to the other middle infielder.
Goodness, 3-0.
So they can get a little idea, maybe cheat a little bit. If it's a breaking ball, chances are that the hitter's probably going to pull it, or a fastball might be a little behind. So a little sneaky peek.
Kirk Gibson lets his hitter swing 3-0.
Yep. Might be a changeup here.
4 pitched walk 2 times in a row. 8 throws to Young, 8 balls. So 2 on, 2 out to Ryan Roberts, who hit a smash to short that became a fielder's choice. Almost a double play. Back in the second after Young had walked. And that was after he hit a ball into the second deck foul deep down the left field line. Five in a row out of the zone. That was a changeup. LeBlanc at the 70 pitch mark here in the 4th inning.
That's been the case for Wade the last few starts, as I mentioned earlier. A lot of pitches early. And when you throw a lot of pitches early and then you go around the third time, this is the second time through the lineup, they start to get a bead on your pitches and what you're all about.
Pops him up. Middle of the diamond. Who wants it? Rizzo. Boy, that was way up there. It's over. No damage done. A double and a walk. Bottom of the fourth. 1-1 tie. On this date, 1984, Reggie Jackson became the 13th man to hit 500 home runs. The 500th. Who was the pitcher? Bud Black with the Kansas City Royals. I'm sure he's pleased that we brought that up.
Yeah, he's talked about that many times, and it's kind of neat that the way Buddy tells the story. Oh, yeah, I gave it up. Number 500. Yep, that was me.
Yep, 500. Yep, 100 times 5. He's a beauty. Huntley fouls it away. Nick and then Anthony Rizzo and Orlando Hudson here in the fourth inning of this 1-1 tie. Trying to extend that hitting streak.
Well, Dick, earlier you asked about some songs from Switchfoot. How would you describe Nick Huntley right now? He is
hotter than a pistol.
Okay, that's a good guess. When a guy's really going well, he is on
fire.
He's on fire. Switchfoot, On Fire, one of their songs.
Oh, I thought that was Hotfoot. Is that a different one?
I'd have to look.
Foul back. I bet that's the kind of thing that you would have done in the clubhouse.
What, Hotfoot? Oh, yeah.
You did it?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
You got to pick your spots.
Yeah, you got to have the right victim, huh?
Right.
What was the best one?
Well, when I was with the Braves, Mark Lemke pulled off the ultimate hot foot because we were going around the clubhouse trying to light guys' shoelaces on fire.
Another foul.
And Kent Merker was in on the act as well. So here's what happened. Mark Lemke was sitting on a table, turned away. He had a brand new pair of spikes on and the laces not tied up. And I said to Merker, I said, hey, Lemke's free game. Go get him. He crawls on the floor, lights him on fire, not knowing that Lemke went to Merker's locker and got a pair of his shoes. So he actually lit his own shoes on fire when Mark Lemke was wearing them. So the joke was on Merker.
Ah, the scam, huh?
Yeah.
Count goes to 2-2 on Hundley. And works it full. Well, that's been a very popular item through the season to have these concerts after the Padre games.
Yep. They do a good job. The Dierks Bentley concert was awesome. Stage set up right by second base there.
Line drive, that's going to be fielded on one hop. Upton can't quite get to it. Well, Hundley continues his hitting streak, 7 games in a row.
And you know, when you're swinging the bat well, you get those little dunkers, right? You hit the ball in the screws, it's a line drive into the gap. You get a breaking ball away off the end of the bat. You could see that swing. As soon as Nick recognized where that pitch was, his intention was to go to right field and just out of the reach of Upton, falling in. And once again, Nick Hundley on fire.
Switchfoot tomorrow after the game. Yeah, we won't be able to stay and enjoy that concert. Rizzo hits it very high in the air. Upton plenty of time to come in and gather this one. But it's second baseman Hill that makes the catch. Well, Rizzo just missed that. He got a lot of it.
This is that ball that Upton, look at, while he's trying to catch the ball in the hop, he's blowing a bubble. He's multitasking. Trying to catch a fly ball and blowing a bubble all at once.
What's that about? You can't walk and chew gum. This guy can run and blow a bubble.
Yeah. Take it to a whole new level and get it on the short hop.
So 1 out. Hundley at first base. And Orlando Hudson, he blooped a single to right field his first time. Padres with 4 hits, but yet to hit a line drive base hit. One in the corner rattle around might be a nice thing right here. That just misses.
And I hate to say it, but it's a fact. Of those hits, all singles again. We've seen a lot of that. I'd like to see some extra base power mixed in.
Giants have scored. They lead Colorado 1-0 in the top of the 5th inning in Denver. Runner goes. Montero's throw, and they got him hung up. And Hundley is out. That might have been the hit and run, and Hudson didn't swing.
I'm guessing right along with you, Dick. You know, with the way that play ended up, Nick Hundley flash looking the whole way, and then he realizes, okay, no swing. I'm going to be out by a mile, so I'm going to take my chances in getting caught in a hot box, in a pickle. You know what? Yeah, maybe Orlando's reaction was like, you know what? I missed it. We'll have to find out after the game.
There are physical errors, and they're excusable to a point. Mental errors are not. Missing a sign falling into that category. And if you want to make your manager upset with you, just blow a hit and run sign. Padres have had 2 men now in the last 2 innings thrown out on the bases.
I find it hard to believe that, you know, they'd give Nick Hundley the straight steal sign, right? That's just not going to happen.
Well, Hundley hasn't stolen the base all year, so that's a pretty good guess. Well, take that back. 1 stolen base. 3-2 to Hudson. Punch foul past Glenn Hoffman. 60 pitches now for Cole Minter. Fly ball to right field. That ball's hit well. Upton going back to the wall, and it's in the balcony for a home run. That's them all, Orlando. The O-Dog has just barked. 2-1. Just on top of the auxiliary scoreboard. He measured this one just right.
And he went down and got it as well, out in front. That even looked like some type of maybe an off-speed pitch, and it just gets over the scoreboard. And just like that, the Padres take the lead.
That's a Cox bundle. So it's 2-1, San Diego.
There's that extra base hit we were looking for.
Jeremy Hermida hit by a pitch the first time. Hits this one to shallow left center. A long run for Young, but he's there. And the inning is over, but the Padres got a couple of hits, and after Hundley's erased, Orlando Hudson belts a home run, his 7th of the year.
Mid-game recap brought to you by Murray Lamper Construction. Find the truth in home remodeling with Murray Lamper Construction and see why that they're the company you trust. Get online and visit murraylamper.com. Mr. Enberg.
All right, Mr. Grant. 2-1 Padre lead as we go to the 5th inning. It's McDonald, the pitcher Colementor, and then Parra for Arizona. LeBlanc. 1-1. McDonald flying to left, his first time. Two balls and a strike.
Mentioned it last at bat, prior to last at bat, over 12 going to this game. His last 12, John McDonald. The number 8 spot in the National League. Tough role in that number 8 spot with the pitcher coming up next. You really got to be patient and swing at good pitches. Sometimes guys will get a little anxious, right? And they start swinging at balls.
Well, he's worked the count to 3-1. Full count. Jane Mitchell mentioning her first one-on-one was with Ken Caminiti. On this date, Caminiti did something rather interesting, enough to be logged in baseball history. As a switch hitter, he hit a home run both left and right-handed that day, and you'll remember because you were there. What made that significant was he had done the same thing the day before.
That's right.
And only Eddie Murray is the only other switch hitter to hit both left and right in back-to-back games. That's a solid single to left for John McDonald.
I'll tell you what, you talk about Ken Caminiti and the bat speed that he produced. Oh, that bat would go through the hitting zone. It was scary how the ball just jumped off his bat.
Was he a better left or right-handed hitter?
You know what? I think he was better left.
Well, the bunt's in order for Colementor. Very high. Grounded to second base his first time, Colementor. Played his baseball on the campus of Central Michigan at Bill Tennyson Stadium. Bill Tennyson was my baseball coach. As a student back in the 1950s. They have a terrific program, a great stadium. Well, the weather isn't always conducive to play this great game. A lot of good Michiganders that play this sport. High 2-1.
I want to correct myself. I got my lefties righties mixed up. Caminiti, I think, better right-handed, better numbers average wise, and slugging percentage. So I got my right and left mixed up.
Hey, just like being in the Army. That's on the outside corner. 2-2. Cole Mentor, a long look down at third base coach Matt Williams to see with 2 strikes on him if Kirk Gibson wants him to sacrifice anyway.
I think it's still on.
It's the right play. He's only 5 for 35 as a hitter. Yep. Unless this is a butcher boy. He takes it low. Well, the Padres wrap up this 3-game series tomorrow. Aaron Harang against Joe Saunders. Then they go to Colorado tomorrow night for 3 games. Monday, Tuesday night at 5:15 for the Honda Dealers pregame show. And then a Wednesday day game. Then back home for the final 6. And foul ball, strike 3. Third strikeout for LeBlanc. The matchups in Colorado: Lupke against Millwood on Monday night, Latos and Chassin Tuesday, and the Wednesday day game, Stauffer, ? And Aaron Cook. No word on whether or not Tim is going to be able to come back from that forearm tightness he suffered last night. Swing and a miss. Changeup.
Boy, lefty on lefty changeup. I like it.
Yeah, the scoreboard giving the final result of the Washington State San Diego State game will not tell you the score. If you want to know, there's plenty of places to find out, because many of you are going to watch this game, and then the replay of that Cougars and Aztec game will be right here on Channel 4 San Diego. I know that's not journalistically sound to say that we're not going to tell you the score, but in these days, you can find out in 2 seconds. And Anthony Bass starts to warm up. I go back to days with my father, who lived with me in my single days back in Los Angeles. Don't tell me the score. Don't call me. The UCLA games that were delayed. I said, Dad, okay, I won't tell you the score, but it might be an emergency. I'm calling you. He would not answer the phone until after he stayed up 11 o'clock to watch the UCLA replay. I'm afraid somebody, I say, you know who's going to win. UCLA always wins. Oh, no, you never know. Don't tell me. 1-1. Pulled. Oh, Rizzo with a good play. And that's a tag play at second. They get him. The play was behind McDonald. He didn't realize what had happened, so he goes in standing up. Rizzo, a solid play with the glove. It's right there at the bag, so he's out there. That takes off the 4, so it's got to be a tag, and they get the lay. Oh, Bartlett on the shoot top. Who knocked in a run with a blue single to left his first time, his second Padre RBI. Then LeBlanc and Maben against Josh Colementor. LeBlanc fly to shallow center his first time. But Perino with the base hit. That drove in Orlando Hudson. Hudson had singled with 1-2 out. He had dropped a Texas Leaguer into right. Then Hermida hit by a pitch, and that set the stage for Perino's blue pit to left. Shallow fly back of shortstop. McDonald out there to make the play.
And folks, this is the Channel 4 home run inning presented by Harrah's Rincon Casino. If a grand slam is hit this inning, the jackpot is up to $65,000. Your chance to win huge cash. Enter at 4sd.com. Huge.
Yeah, we hope before the season ends somebody gets that big payoff.
Absolutely.
LeBlanc. He's a lifetime 280 hitter, LeBlanc. 23 hits and 82 at bats. Changeup floats in there, 1-1. Line drive, center field, base hit. Boy, LeBlanc can swing the lumber. That's the best hit ball other than Hudson's home run for the Padres tonight. Our freeze cam. It's brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Let's go back to the play made by Rizzo at first base. We freeze it. That ball right on the bag. A fair ball indeed. And what made this a special play was the throw. Look where he lays that ball right down at the bag and able to get McDonald on a 3-6 double play.
Perfect. No time for Anthony to create a throwing lane to second base.
Maben bunted his way on the last time. He's lined sharply to second and a bunt single.
You know what was great about that shot, the throw? It almost looked like when Anthony threw that ball, it was head right for the back of McDonald, but because of being left-handed, it had that like little sink to it, and it perfectly went to Bartlett covering at second base.
Pops him up. In comes Young for the second out. Well, LeBlanc at first base now is 7 for 19 with the bat. That leads the team in hitting.
He's on fire.
Switchfoot.
Hey, speaking of fire, my boys are watching out in Alpine. The Alpine Fire Department. Scott, Pat, Chip, Mike, keeping our community safe.
Yeah.
You know, fire season, and you know it's so dry. So those guys do a great job, and they always watch, and they love you, Mr. Enberg.
Well, I'd like to go out and shake their hand. Maybe in the off season we can
good guys
get together.
Absolutely.
You know that 9/11 disaster and going through the 10-year anniversary while I was in New York, and when you think about something like 350 firemen were lost, and those are men bravely going there to help out. Their duty is to answer the alarm, and that means taking on the most dire circumstances.
Hey, there were a lot of men and women who had the day off, and once that alarm went off and they got called in, everybody on hand, all hands on deck.
2-0 now to Bartlett. Grounded to second, fly to right. If you're just joining us, we're in the bottom of the fifth inning here at Petco Park. 2 out. The pitcher, Wade LeBlanc, with the base hit, is at first base. The Padres lead 2-1. Orlando Hudson's home run to right field, his 7th of the year, the difference. Another foul by Bartlett. He's had a couple of good cuts.
Hey, with that hit off the bat of Wade LeBlanc, he extended his hitting streak. He's got a 6-game hitting streak going.
When he's had a full, had a chance to bat. A couple of times he didn't get it at bat. You can't count those on him. Yeah, he's hitting right near 290 now in his Major League career. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Bartlett. Hit to center. Back a couple of steps is Young. He's had a busy night. And that's it for San Diego in the 5th. No runs a hit and the man left. After 5 at Petco, the Padres lead the first place D-backs 2-1. A reminder that next Saturday, the Padres and Nickelodeon are teaming up. Celebrate the Worldwide Day of Play. Before the Padres play the Dodgers at 5:35, you kids can come out to meet and play games with SpongeBob SquarePants and Dora the Explorer. All festivities start at 3:35, 2 hours before game time, and are included with a paid game ticket for that Saturday. Get your tickets tonight at Padres.com/day of play. You better be there early. You get your interviews and your homework done, and at 3:35, you're right first in line.
I'm getting a picture with SpongeBob and Dora. That's big league. My kids will be jealous. Hey, there's that bandana that they were also giving away. Remember the pet bandana along with the long sleeve T-shirt tonight?
Oh, so if you don't have a pet, you can use that yourself.
Exactly.
That's not bad looking, huh?
No.
Why don't you have one?
Show your Padre pride and wear it. Look, he's got a little ascot working there.
Yeah. Many uses, multi-purpose. Top of the 6th, it's Hill, the home run hitter, back in the first inning for the Arizona run. Then Upton and Montero. Montero with a brace of doubles tonight. Both shot to right center field. Two and 0 to Hill. Hit his homer to left. His second as a D-back. Over but low, 3-0. LeBlanc has walked 2. Chris Young, both of those walks. And he struck out 3. 3-1. Colorado has tied the Giants 1-1 in the 6th. High fly ball back a second into shallow right. Hermida there. Now LeBlanc, typically a fly ball pitcher, and that's been true tonight. There have been only 4 ground ball outs. Luke Gregerson gets ready in the Padre pen. Upton, the hitter, grounded to third, fly to center. He takes a strike. Trying to think back through the season. Memory may be feeling, but to me, the longest home run we saw hit all year was the one he put in the third deck here in
that
Western Metal Supply, and it would still be going if it weren't for the brick wall out there.
That one sticks in my mind as well. And the hardest hit ball, thinking back to this year, was that ball off the bat of Mike Stanton. It was a break. I think it was Wade LeBlanc as well that was pitching. He rifled that thing off the left field wall. Sent shivers down my spine.
2-1, and he misses upstairs. Well, here is the Upton home run. Oh, man, he crushed it. Almost on the roof of the Western Metal Supply Company. And ball 4. Third walk from LeBlanc. His pitch count at 97. With Gregerson throwing in the bullpen, we'll keep an eye on the Padre dugout to see if Bud Black's about to go out with a hook.
Well, you've got Montero batting from the left side, and then the rest of the way down the lineup righties. So this might be Wade LeBlanc's, and there's the phone call, seeing if he is ready.
Montero, and remember early in the game we mentioned it's been amazing. The left-handed hitters are batting at a .431 clip against a left-handed pitcher, LeBlanc. And here's the left-handed hitting Montero with 2 long doubles to right center in the game tonight.
Well, a couple of notes worth noting. Mentioned earlier that the Diamondbacks have grounded into the fewest double plays in the National League. Montero leads in that category for the D-backs with 13. So
he's the one man in the lineup that doesn't run well. Along with his power, remember Upton is a top base stealer. 21, leads the club.
And because of that reason, Montero grounding into those double plays, you might see some action here.
He's not used his best move, and he's got a good one. Pick off.
I wonder if they would pitch out here, maybe fastball down and away.
He's got him. Yep. 3 times the charm. And Rizzo will make the tag. That's the good one. One, 3, 6-3 on the putout.
Well, it looked like Upton was banking on LeBlanc going to the plate. As soon as that leg is lifted, he's off and running, and a good job executing the rundown. And there it is. And like any pitcher, once you throw to base, you always cover the base that you throw to. And Wade LeBlanc was on his horse covering, backing up just in case.
Count 1-0 on Montero, and that's inside. So the Padres have had 2 men thrown out on the bases tonight, and so have the D-backs. That catches the plate. 2-1. That's the 100th pitch from the left-hander from Lake Charles, Louisiana, Wade LeBlanc.
And if he can get Montero here, call it a solid 6 innings, turn it over to the bullpen. That would be a job well done by the lefty.
Inside, 3-1. This is the 10th time LeBlanc has gone to a 3-ball count tonight. Couldn't pull a trigger. Full count.
Okay, 3-2. Lefty on lefty, just threw him a fastball. Do you put a wrinkle in one or try to locate the fastball? He shook out the fastball to go to changeup. Fastball Lindy doesn't want. Oh, now he's going to go to the slider. Got it.
Got him on the inside corner. Montero was looking for ball 4, and he's barking at plate umpire Fielding Colbert. Oh, he's still going at it. That's a good-looking pitch. Beach or online at Mossy.com. Josh Coleman ready to work. Jesus Guzman 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded out and struck out. Padres with 2 runs, 6 hits. Arizona 1 run, 4 hits. Guzman to be followed by Hundley and Rizzo here in the Padres 6th inning. Another fly ball. This one to Upton, shading his way into right center. 1 away. Well, our leaderboard tonight brought to you by Los Primos, home of the Monster Burrito. Get your $5 meal deal. Well, there's the slugging percentage by rookies this year. Guzman leading the way over the Mets, Guda, Freeman, and Elvina, Ramos, and Espinosa for the Nationals. Terrific rookie year for Jesus Guzman. He's 0 for 3 tonight, however. Nick Hundley's 1 for 2. He's extended his hitting streak to 7. Out of play. Well, after tonight, 7 home games left. Hope to see you out here tomorrow. Aaron Harang, San Diego State Aztec, goes for win number 14 against Joe Saunders.
One of the few curveballs we've seen from Cole Mentor.
Pretty good curveball.
Great location as well. Nearly bounced it, and that's okay. Give Nick Hundley a look-see. Maybe a fastball here.
Line drive up the middle, base hit. Low liner that skipped through the box, and Hundley's 2 for 3. Well, he's come back from the DL a new man.
You know, the first pitch of the at-bat was a fastball down and away, and Nick fouled it out of play, and he kind of told himself out of the box, got to stay on that pitch. Well, this pitch gets more at the plate, but it's still down. And you talk about hockey suit right through the wickets. A P-Rod right up the center of the diamond.
So Hundley and Hudson with a pair of hits to lead the way for the Padres tonight. Here's Rizzo. He's grounded to second and popped to second. The D-backs, after they finish tomorrow, conclude the season, all the games at home. 3 with Pittsburgh, 3 with the Giants, 3 with LA. So a team that is so much tougher at home. They're 45-27 at home. They'll have the home crowd pulling them toward the National League West pennant. 1-1.
I think that's a pitch that Anthony Rizzo has just got to come out of his shoes on. The count's in your favor, 1-0, and it's a fastball right there. Got to be aggressive.
On the outside corner, that's a pitcher's pitch.
Yeah. Think about it if you're a pitcher. When you get a big kid like Rizzo or a veteran or a rookie, doesn't matter. And he's very aggressive early in the count, right? First of one of 2 pitches, that's going to make you a little tentative as a pitcher, don't you think? And then you're going to probably try to nitpick. Before you know it, you're behind 3-1, 2-0. And that works in the favor of the hitter.
Hundley at first with the Padres' 7th hit off Cole Mentor. 1 out in the count, 1-2. Rizzo. Struck him out on a high fastball, and the snap throw not in time to pick off Hundley. Only the 2nd strikeout for Cole Mentor.
He threw some bait up in the strike zone, and Anthony Rizzo bit. Goes well out of the strike zone. It looked like, let's check with Tracks. What's Happy Star say? Yep, up and out of the zone. Nice snap throw also by Montero.
That's the pitch that's been getting Rizzo since he's come up from Tucson. Fastballs high and in. Hudson takes a strike. He has scored both Padre runs tonight, singled with 2 outs in the 2nd. Moved to second on the hit batsman Hermida and scored on Perino's loop single. And then his home run just on the top of the auxiliary scoreboard and right is the difference in the game. 2-1. And another strike. 88 pitches now for the 25-year-old Cole Mentor. Well, when we left the air last night, the 2-0 win for the Padres, we did not have a final for Lake Elsinore playing Stockton, the Cal League playoffs. They were behind 2-1. They tied the game and won it in the 10th inning, 3-2. So they're 2-0. And action moved to Stockton tonight. If we get a score, we'll pass that along to you. They're playing concurrently. 1 game away from taking the Cal League title, Lake Elsinore Storm. Broken bat, ground ball to third. Roberts. And the inning is over. That's right, because the early start, a 7 o'clock start for that Lake Elsinore game up in Stockton. So they are just beginning. We've completed 6, 2-1 San Diego. Southern California's premier dental implant center. And by Goldman Sachs. For all the reasons you invest, mutual funds from Goldman Sachs. Pitching change for the Padres. Top of the 7th inning. Luke Gregerson comes in. What a job by LeBlanc. 6 innings, 1 run. The home run in the 1st inning by Aaron Hill. 4 hits, walked 3, struck out 4.
Yeah, Wade did a nice job. And when you look at his breakdown of those 103 pitches, 53 strikes, 50 balls. So not the best ratio, but 10 3-ball counts. That got the pitch count up there.
Gregerson will face the rookie first baseman Paul Goldschmidt, then Chris Young and Ryan Roberts, 3 right-handed batters. Making his 58th appearance of the year.
Yeah, last time out for Luke was Tuesday against the Giants on the 13th, 2/3 of an inning. But it's righties this inning, Goldschmidt, Young, and Roberts, and righties off of Luke this year hitting .233.
Luke wearing his game appearances on his back, 57 prior to this appearance. Ball 1. Fastball starting the young right-handed hitting rookie Goldschmidt, who's shown some power since they called him up. 7 home runs. And slider doesn't quite get in there. 2-0.
Getting that first out, especially in a game like this, is so important. I don't care if you're up 10-0 or, up 1-0. That first out is so crucial.
That slider, he kind of pulled off the plate. 2-1.
Fastball count, he pulled the string.
How about Goldschmidt? Comes up as a rookie, and his first couple of home runs were off Cliff Lee and Tim Lincecum. Yep. Tells you a little bit about him. 3-1. Leadoff walk. Coming up, the San Diego Hyundai dealers 7th inning stretch. Get more MPG, more value, and double the warranty. Shop online at SanDiegoHyundaiDealers.com. Chris Young, the batter. Up twice, walked twice. Hundley going out to visit with Gregerson, who comes out of the pen a bit wild.
Yeah, sometimes Luke Gregerson will work underneath the baseball. Sometimes he'll work flat around the baseball rather than staying on top of it. And that's why sometimes the slider is flat.
Darren Balsley out to join in the conversation. He spotted something as well.
It could be a number of things, but usually, I'm not saying all the time, but when a pitcher is up in the zone, maybe the stride's a little bit too long. So you're working underneath it a little bit. Could be a number of reasons.
Brad Brock starts to loosen up. One of the call-ups here in September. High pop-up, shallow and left. Bartlett going out and calling. First out. Now, we've talked many times about Kirk Gibson's coaching staff. Matt Williams, Don Baylor, Alan Trammell's his bench coach. Had a chance to chat with Alan before the game tonight. He's still proud to be a San Diegan. Kearney High School. They're remodeling a home in Pacific Beach. And I specifically wanted to talk to him about, last night we were speaking to the young players down in the minor league system that are coming through. They played well at Fort Wayne, now San Antonio, and maybe it'll be more than one or two. Might be a group of players that all hit the big league team here in San Diego at the same time. And I asked him about when he came up. He made it to the major leagues at 19. He and Whitaker, the double play combination together, 19 years with the Tigers, included the '84 World Series. And that year, the Tigers welcomed to the big leagues Whitaker, Trammell, Jack Morris, and Lance Parrish. Now, how's that for a bonanza?
That's some talent right there.
That'll make you a pretty good team in a hurry.
Yeah.
One strike the count on Ryan Roberts. Pitch out, no action. And Trammell very nearly Hall of Fame numbers, I would think. Huh?
Absolutely.
Solid in the field.
You look at other shortstops that played in the American League and National League during the time that Alan Trammell was up there, and quite frankly, the offensive numbers that Alan put up are just as good or better.
1-1. Roberts swinging bunt, fielded by Gregerson, and there's 2 away. Tying run Goldschmidt moving to second base. The Tigers winning the World Series, and then I said that was it though. That was a pretty good team. You might have won more. He said, well, we won the division in '87, but Minnesota beat us in the playoffs on their way to winning the World Series. And then the shocker, the Tigers have not won their division since '87.
That's right. I saw that last night.
24 years.
Yep. Yeah, that's what, it's like the Marlins, right? They haven't won a division. They always got in by the wild card, but they've won 2 world championships by way of the wild card.
Shortstop John McDonald flied to left and singled sharply to left field. 2 away, and Goldschmidt with his lead back at second base. That's in there. Fastball.
Alan Trammell also could do it on the hardwood now at Kearney for the Comets. He was quite a hoops player as well. He was very good. We're hearing stories. He had the long hair when he was in high school.
You could just see him jump shooting, huh?
Yeah.
1-1 to John McDonald. We're in the 7th, 2 out. Goldschmidt at second. 2-1 San Diego. Jeff Blum has some Padre background in his bio. He's on deck. A 1-1 pitch. Jammed him.
Almost looked like he jammed him on a backup slider. It's just one of those sliders that you really don't get out in front. You leave it up and in a little bit, and maybe it backs up. Let's check it out. Yeah, it had a little slider break, but it was up a little bit. Didn't back up as I anticipated, but still worked to the advantage of Luke. That was one of those sliders where it was in just enough.
Yeah.
You hang that over the plate, it's a different story.
1-2 to McDonald. Line drive, no. Soft fly. Shortstop. Bartlett left the bat. Looked like it might be one of those troublesome loopers, but good pitch by Gregerson. And he's out of trouble in the 7th inning. We are in the stretch half of the 7th, 2-1. Score brought to you by Discount Tire, where America saves on tires. Yankees win, and look who saved it. Mariano Rivera's 600, first career save to tie Trevor Hoffman. And the Giants have scored top of the 6th inning to lead the Rockies 2-1. You can bet that dugout of Arizona. They're looking straight out of the field and right behind the right fielder. The updated scores, and they're obviously rooting for the Rockies tonight. Off-speed pitch, and Hermida way out in front. He is hit by a pitch and fly to center tonight.
They probably got that game on, Dick, in the clubhouse on somebody's computer with the, technology these days.
That ball hit well to right field. Chasing Upton back. Touch 'em all. Hermida, his second Padre home run. Three to 1 San Diego. A big insurance run provided by Hermida leading off the 7th.
Well, that's the power that we saw Jeremy Hermida when he was a Florida Marlin. Boy, getting on top of that ball. Look at the hands. Look at the barrel of the bat coming through. And believe me, folks, as Padre fans coming to Petco Park watching ball games here, that is not an easy place to hit a home run over that Cox sign in Cox Alley in deep right center field. Get on top of it. That's in the 3rd row.
Yeah, that's 400 plus, I would think.
That ball was smoked like a Christmas ham.
Well, they were Easter ham.
Easter ham, Christmas ham.
Depending on how you're smoking,
Yeah.
I like
Good
those
for him.
honey cured. That's what I like. Foul back by Perino as an RBI single and a pop up to short. Well, a lively crowd here on this Saturday night at Petco, and treated to a couple of Padre home runs. Hudson and Hermida. Padres haven't hit 2 home runs in a game this entire month of September. You have to go back to August 30th against the Dodgers. By the mound to the second baseman Hill for the first out. Aaron Cunningham is going to hit for Luke Gregerson. Cunningham only 73 at bats, a dozen hits, one of those a home run. Foul back. You know, in New York, you can buy just about anything.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can get those Rolex watches for $15.
Yeah, the Rolexes, yeah.
That, you know, you can buy the Brooklyn Bridge. I saw you out there one day, guy dealing with you.
I put a bid in on that.
Fly ball softly to second, and Hill has it.
I think
so I went out, you know, and they had a guy out, we buy anything baseball. So I know the team was struggling. I was away, and I said, how about baseball wins? You got any of those? He said, how many do you need? I said, 12. So I bought them. You know, he got one
what
last night.
They
aren't guaranteed. He said, I can't guarantee, but, you know, it might work. So I bought the full dozen. You know, I came back here fully loaded. I mean, with victories. Right. Wait a minute, just with victories loaded. It's in New York, that can happen too. Maben in bunt hit in 3 at bats, changeup.
You didn't fall for the 3-card Monty, did you, in New York?
No. Ground ball swept to the hole. He's going to have to hurry the throw, and just does get him. Off balance, but McDonald needed all he had in that right arm to throw out Maben. But the leadoff home run, Hermida deep to right center field, and the Padre lead is boosted to 3-1. Close out this 3-game series, a 105 game, and to celebrate Air Force Day, Military Day, as always, on Sunday. First 8,000 of you kids 14 and younger will receive that miniature Padres toy airplane presented by BDA. Get your tickets tonight at Padres.com. Chad Qualls comes in to work the 8th inning for the Padres.
So back-to-back nights for Chad Qualls. He pitched the 8th last night, 1 inning, 1 strikeout. It was 8-9-1 against the Diamondbacks last night.
And Sean Burroughs will be the first man he faces. The ex-Padre will bat for Cole Mentor. That's a big insurance run, the home run by Hermida. 3-1 the score. Colemeter worked 7 innings, gave up 3 runs, 7 hits, struck out a couple, and typically did not walk a man, did hit a batter. 1 ball, 1 strike to Burroughs, and that one skips in, almost hit him in the foot.
It's nice to see Luke Gregerson rebound after that leadoff walk to Paul Goldschmidt, because we know the percentages of a leadoff walk coming around to score, but he shut him down 1, 2, 3 after that walk, and that's a good sign for Luke.
Foul tip, 2-2. Parra and then Hill to follow here in the D-backs 8th inning. The Padre pitching has shackled this Arizona attack so far. Shutout 9 innings last night, 1 run in 7 innings tonight. Ground ball left side, deep in the hole. Bartlett gets him by a step. One away in the 8th.
That's amazing. Jason Bartlett knows who's running a short, quick crow hop and just gets them in time. You know, there are shortstops that can time those runners. They know what's going on. They know when to use the hose, and they know when they have plenty of time to just make an easy, accurate throw.
They're kind of like jockeys. They have that clock in their head. You know, They know whether their horse is running too hard or not hard enough.
Right.
Just that 6th, 7th sense. Leadoff man Parra is lined to right, grounded to first, and grounded right at the bag at first, turned into a double play. That was a sparkling play by Rizzo, not only catching the ball and hitting the bag, but raising and throwing a perfect strike to second to complete a double play. Well, our comparison tonight is brought to you by the San Diego Toyota dealers. We've got what it takes. Now, they talk about the National League West not as strong as the East and the Central. Well, how about that? Last 10 years, the National League title 4 times won by a Western team. 3 Central, 3 East. So there. Qualls has fallen behind on the count to Parra, 3-0. You got some home run power sitting right behind this leadoff hitter Parra. That's a strike. Colorado has scored a couple in the 7th. They lead 3-2 now over the Giants. Swing and a miss at a fastball.
I would think Chad Quall is going to challenge him right here with one of those turbo sinkers, just down and away for a strike. There it is.
He does, boy. He just jammed him, and an easy out at first base for Rizzo. Now that's one of those plays. You know, remember earlier in the year we were talking about this, and with Tony Gwynn, the problem with a good single ball pitcher, he's going to get a lot of balls like that, and sometimes they're hit so weakly they're base hits.
That's right, because
infield hits.
Absolutely.
And you just can't give up on your strength, which is that sinker ball, and sometimes it doesn't seem fair. They get cheap hits, but he also gets some really easy outs. So 2 gone, and Aaron Hill, who homered in the first inning, second man to face Wade LeBlanc, his second homer as a D-back, his 8th overall in the year. Takes it outside. He sends fly to center and fly to right. Beware of this Arizona team. They're accustomed to coming from behind late and winning. They have more comeback wins than any National League team. 44 times they've won when trailing late in the game. That's in there. Good stuff. 1-1. Drive to left center. Guzman misread it, but got back and made the catch. He started in, then angled back, and grabs the final out as Qualls retires the side in order. Top of the 8th. Padres lead it 3-1. Sequan Casino postgame show from our Channel 4 studio. Steve Quiss and Bob Scanlon standing by. Sequan Casino getaway for the day at Sequan Casino. New pitcher, Brad Ziegler. We saw him last night. He worked an inning, struck out 2 batters in a 1-2-3 frame. Side armor, sometimes even lower than that.
Yeah, not overpowering. Fastball, slider, change. Submarine sinker. Tops out about 86, 87. And Ziegler's done a fine job this year of keeping the ball in the yard. There's not a lot of home run this year. 88 straight games dating back to last year.
Chop toward third, and it'll go foul.
There's that chopper you were talking about, Dick, with Chad Qualls, right? Same thing applies with Ziegler.
But the attendance tonight, 36,242, and that boosts the Padres over the 1.9 million mark on the season. So it seems assured that they will pass the 2 million mark and might even surpass the 2.1 million of a season ago. And considering the 1-loss record, that is a tremendous commendation to the fans of San Diego County, their support of baseball. Bartlett works the count to 2-2. Pops him up. Curveball. Shortstop McDonald takes care of it. 1 gone. Guzman 0 for 3 tonight.
Well, the bottom of the order has done a nice job. 6 through 8. Hudson, 2-run score, the home run, of course, and then Hermida with the solo shot.
Carino got a base hit, RBI single, and LeBlanc single.
As well, yeah.
Bounder up the middle. Second baseman Hill. And there's 2 away. Looking ahead to the 9th inning for Arizona, their best are going to bat. Upton, Montero, then the rookie Goldschmidt, and Chris Young if anyone gets on. Keith Bell tuning up in the bullpen. Keith picked up his 38th save last night. Right to Hundley. He's 2 for 3. Couple of singles tonight. Continues to hit over 400 since arriving off the disabled list. At the knees, 1-2. Strike 3. So Ziegler, as he did last night, a perfect inning, striking out Hundley. Keith Bell try to ring up another save as we go to the 9th inning, 3-1 San Diego. His 39th save. Padres lead 3-1. Bell will face Justin Upton, Miguel Montero, Paul Goldschmidt. And fresh in his memory bank, of course, that disastrous outing in Arizona when he came in with a 2-run lead and gave up a couple of solo home runs. And then the Padres eventually lost on Joe Thatcher's bases loaded walk in the 10th. Probably the toughest loss of the entire year.
And one of the keys for any successful closer is to forget about your last outing. Just erase that from your mind and get back up on that horse the next night. Heath Bell trying to go for his 39th save.
Yeah, the relief pitchers are like cornerbacks in the NFL. You better have a short memory.
That's right.
Chris Denorfia takes over defensively in left field for Guzman. So we're assuming he's in the 9th spot of the batting order. And hopefully won't have to worry about grabbing a bat. Upton walked his last time. He's 0 for 2. Grounded to third and fly to center. First fastball is at 93. Curveball actually at 83. Heath was up 96 miles an hour last night. And that one at 96.
That ball's jumping out of his hand. Getting on top of it, getting good spin, good rotation.
One and two. Got him. Another fastball at 96.
Good location. This is one of those up and away strikes. You know, that's right below the belt buckle. No reason for an argument there. That's great placement to Upton for the big first out here in the 9th.
Brings up Miguel Montero. He's laced a couple of doubles to right center field and struck out. Strike one. Good rhythm with that fastball tonight. Off the corner, 1-1.
Not by much.
High fly ball hit well to left center, but over is the left fielder Denorfia. 2 away. That brings up Paul Goldschmidt. The rookie first baseman has walked and struck out twice. Fastball tails outside. That looked good.
Yeah.
Bell, quizzical expression. Why wasn't that a strike?
You know, Nick Hundley kind of takes this ball out of the zone a little bit because of the movement, but that's right on the inside part of the plate according to Happy Star Tracks.
Yeah, if he had just held that glove right there, that might have been a strike. There's a base hit. No. Yes, it's off Hudson's glove. Almost caught that one with a dive. And Goldschmidt keeps it alive as he just is able to hit that soft liner beyond Orlando Hudson's diving try.
Fastball away. Boy, Goldschmidt stays on it nicely. And how close? Very close.
That brings the tying run to the plate. Chris Young. He's walked twice and popped a short. A 20-20 man. Way outside. Overthrew that fastball. Misses again. Well, Young strikes out more than any Arizona player, but he also walks more. He's very selective. And that, too, would have been the pitcher's pitch. Knee high on the corner. 3-0. Now it's getting serious.
Yeah.
Ryan Roberts on deck. Young has 20 homers this year. Roberts has 18. And they've got Lyle Overbay, who homered off Bell, available as a pinch hitter, a left-handed bat. A 4-pitch walk. That's 3 times tonight. Young has walked on 4 pitches. Now the tying run on, and that brings the go-ahead score to the plate. Ryan Roberts. Or will it be? No, here comes Overbay. It was his home run that tied it bottom of the 9th inning in Arizona off Bell. On the way to a win in the 10th. It's a terrific pickup for Arizona. He was released mid-season. Not very productive with Pittsburgh. But he's come up with some big hits for the Diamondbacks. As a pinch hitter, he's 0 for 3 with Arizona, 0 for 9 on the year. 2 on, 2 out, top of the 9th. Curveball misses. That's 5 straight out of the zone for Keith Bell. Six in a row missed. Hudson comes in to try to settle the veteran Bell down here. 2-0.
You wonder why managers get gray hair, huh? Buddy, a good cheerleader. Clapping. Trying to rally the troops.
That's a strike on the outside corner. Overbay wasn't happy with the call.
I think Heath Bell may have gotten a call. Let's check out pitch tracks off the plate. Thank you.
Well, he needed that. 3-0 with 2 on.
Yep.
Now the action pitch. 2 balls and a strike. 2 on, 2 out. That's not even close to curveball. 3-1. Jeff Blum will pinch hit if this inning continues for John McDonald. Three balls and a strike. Threw the fastball by him.
Outer half, great placement, giving Overbay left field. Have him hit it that way. Sure, you know what? He hit the opposite field home run in Arizona totally different venue here. I say Heath Bell, challenge him with the good fastball down and away.
3-2. The runners are off. The pitch is on the outside corner. Strike three. The Padres win it 3-1. With some added theater in this ninth inning provided by the lead actor in the bullpen, Heath Bell. And let's see, how good was this pitch? Well, it was ball four. Twice Bell got calls on outside pitches from plate umpire Fielden Colbrook. And the Padres celebrate another hard-earned win. They've won back-to-back for the first time since August 23rd. And it's the Arizona Diamondbacks hitting, or at least taking in tough luck in the ninth inning. And the Padres prevail 3-1.